Everyone wants something from you. That is not cynicism, that is realism. People are not driven by loyalty, love, or virtue as much as they are driven by need, desire, and gain. The truth is, most relationships, whether personal, professional, or social, are transactions wrapped in emotion. They take the form of friendship, romance, or camaraderie, but underneath, the machinery is the same. What can you do for me? What advantage can I gain from being near you? You must stop believing that others see you for who you are. They see what you offer, your usefulness, your resources, your connections, your influence, your time. All of these are chips on a table. The moment you are no longer useful, you become invisible, harsh, yes, but this is the invisible law of power that governs most of human interaction. And those who fail to see it will always be blindsided by betrayal, disappointment, or exploitation. You've been conditioned to think giving without return is a virtue. It's not. It's a liability. People admire the generous, but they follow the powerful. And power belongs to those who recognize value, especially their own. If you allow others to continuously extract your energy without return, you are not noble. You are naive. Even the ones closest to you are not immune to this truth. Affection does not cancel ambition. Love does not erase opportunism. Behind every smile is a calculation, whether conscious or not. He wants your loyalty. She wants your protection. They want your silence, your help, your reputation, your influence. Everyone wants something. The quicker you learn this, the more control you regain. When you enter a room, scan it not for friends, but for motives. Who needs what? Who fears what? Who desires what? These are the fault lines that define the terrain. And when you know what someone wants, you can own them. You become the one who can give or withhold. You become the axis upon which their strategy turns. That is real power, not brute force, not popularity, but silent leverage. And yet, most people are blind to this. They give away their time to those who waste it, offer their emotions to those who manipulate them, sacrifice their dreams for those who would never do the same. And when the world does not return their sacrifice, they grow bitter, not realizing they never understood the game they were playing. Understand this. The world is full of charming liars, smiling thieves, and polite predators. They don't come to you with daggers. They come with need. They ask, they flatter, they appeal to your empathy, but every request is a test. Every favor they want is a piece of you being weighed. If you do not value what you give, they will take all of it, not because they are evil, but because they are human. Human nature is not inherently noble. It is inherently hungry. And hunger does not wait for permission. It looks for opportunity. You are that opportunity. Your time, your skills, your presence, these are meals for someone else's appetite. If you do not protect them with vigilance and awareness, they will be consumed by those who smile in your face and toast to your health. Your value is not just what you possess. It is what others believe they can take from you. Most people walk through life unaware of the power they hold because they do not understand how others perceive them. They think being liked is enough, being useful is accidental, being needed is a coincidence. It's not. Your value is a weapon, but only if you learn how to wield it with precision, not generosity. Every trait you carry, your intelligence, your beauty, your discipline, your loyalty, your presence, has a price tag in the eyes of those around you. Some want to borrow it, some want to benefit from it, others want to diminish it out of envy or fear. But rarely does anyone approach you without a motive attached to what you offer. People orbit you for a reason. The key is to find out what that reason is and make sure you never give it away for free. Most people make the mistake of offering their value without negotiation. They want to prove themselves, so they overextend. They want to be appreciated, so they overgive. They want to be chosen, so they oversacrifice. What they do not realize is that the more freely you give your value, the cheaper it becomes. When something is abundant, it is taken for granted. When something is scarce and controlled, it becomes precious. Power flows to those who manage their value like a scarce resource, not those who throw it at anyone who shows interest. Your attention, your time, your loyalty, these are currencies. And like all currencies, their value depends on how rare and how controlled they are. If you answer every message, if you say yes to every favor, if you offer your presence with no boundaries, you are leaking power. Those around you will begin to see you not as a force to reckon with, but as a resource to consume. The giver becomes the servant, the helpful become the used, the loyal become the exploited. Not because the world is cruel, but because it rewards strength and punishes weakness disguised as kindness. To weaponize your value, you must become selective. You must understand that denial is more powerful than approval. That silence is more feared than noise. That absence creates more desire than presence. Do not chase validation from people who only see you as a means to an end. Make them chase yours. Make them work for your time, your trust, your energy. The more effort they invest, the more they value the return. If they get it too easily, they discard it just as easily. You become a tool, not a prize. Everything you have can be used as leverage, but only if you stop letting others borrow it for nothing. Your value is not in what you give. It is in what you withhold, in what you control, in what you force others to pursue. When people want something from you, you are no longer equal. You are in command. But that only lasts if you are willing to turn your value into power, not charity. Power belongs to those who see without being seen, who read others while remaining unread. Most people speak too quickly, reveal too much, and expose the very things that make them vulnerable. They talk about their plans, their fears, their goals, hoping for validation or support. In doing so, they give away their blueprint, their pressure points, their inner map. And once someone knows what you want, they know how to control you. The greatest strength lies in keeping your intentions hidden, not out of fear, but out of strategy. When you move in silence, no one can predict you. When you show nothing, they project everything. The imagination of others becomes your disguise. They guess, they assume, they underestimate or overestimate, but they never truly see the game you are playing. And that is how you win, by operating behind a mask, by being unreadable, by letting others move first, while you observe their hand. While you conceal your desires, you must sharpen your ability to detect theirs. Everyone wants something. They may hide it behind politeness, charm, or indifference, but it leaks through body language, tone, subtle patterns in behavior. Watch what they pursue, what they envy, what they avoid. Listen more than you speak. Ask questions that seem harmless, but reveal everything. People crave the opportunity to talk about themselves. Let them hand you the tools you will later use to influence or break them. Reading people is not just about psychology. It's about survival. The ones who play naive are often the first to fall. If you are blind to the motives of those around you, you are not innocent, you are bait. Every smile, every compliment, every alliance has a purpose. It may be beneficial. It may be poisonous. Your job is to know which, before the consequences arrive. People wear masks. Your job is to see the face behind it. To master this, you must detach emotionally. You cannot let admiration, anger, attraction, or guilt cloud your judgment. Emotion blinds the eyes, and once your emotions control your decisions, you are no longer the player, you are the played. The person who can stay calm while others reveal themselves gains a decisive advantage. Let them speak. Let them try to impress you. Let them think they are winning your trust. All the while, you are gathering information, calculating responses, mapping their weakness. The one who reveals less always controls more. The less you say, the more others talk. The less you show, the more they guess. You become a mirror that reflects their own projections. And in doing so, you learn who they are while they know nothing of you. Power belongs to the observer. The predator does not roar. It watches, it waits, it strikes only when the prey steps into the open. In every room you enter, know this: someone is watching you, evaluating you, planning around you. If you are not doing the same, you are already one move behind. And in this game, the second move is often the losing one. Every person you meet is carrying a hidden agenda, a private hunger, a quiet calculation. Some are subtle, others are obvious, but none are without intent. Even the ones who claim purity often conceal a craving beneath their goodness, a desire to be seen as kind, to feel important, to hold some moral high ground. Nothing is ever done without a reason, and once you accept this truth, you stop being surprised and start being prepared. The mistake most people make is assuming honesty where there is only strategy, assuming friendship where there is only benefit, assuming loyalty where there is only fear or convenience. They walk into relationships blind, believing in words instead of watching actions. They think emotional connection is immune to ambition. They forget that the game never pauses, not in business, not in love, not in family. The game only changes masks. To navigate this world, you must stop expecting fairness and start expecting leverage. Everyone is trying to move forward. Some will build with you, some will climb over you. The difference lies in how useful you are to their journey. And once you stop being useful, most will leave, betray, or compete. Not because they are evil, but because they are playing the same survival game you should be playing. If you do not play, you become the pawn that others sacrifice. This is why you must become a master of incentives. You must know what people want before they even say it, and position yourself as the gatekeeper to that desire. Give them just enough to keep them hooked, but never enough to make you replaceable. Once someone no longer needs you, they no longer respect you. Need is the root of loyalty, and control is born from managing that need. The clever manipulator does not demand submission. He makes others think they are choosing it. He appeals to their desires, flatters their ego, dangles the promise of something they crave. And while they chase the illusion, he pulls the strings. Influence comes not from force, but from the ability to make others move in the direction you choose while believing it was their idea. That is true dominance, not loud, not chaotic, but silent and precise. You must also become comfortable with being underestimated. There is power in letting people think they are smarter, stronger, or more in control. When they are overconfident, they reveal more. When they are proud, they become predictable. Never correct their illusions. Let them build a fantasy while you build a trap. Let them believe they are ahead while you are positioning the final move. The moment of revelation is always sweeter when they never saw it coming. Human nature is greedy, impatient, and often blind. Most will rush toward pleasure, power, or recognition without considering the cost. Your job is to calculate that cost for them and make sure you are the one collecting it. When others think only about what they want, you must think about how to make them pay for it without realizing they're paying. That is the art of control in its purest form. People crave validation more than they crave truth. They want to be seen, admired, heard, even if it means surrendering control to those who understand this hunger. Most are not guided by logic but by emotion. Flattery, attention, and the illusion of understanding can sway them more than facts, more than reason. If you recognize this, you gain the ability to influence without resistance. You don't need to overpower someone when you can simply lead them where they already wish to go. Understanding the emotional economy of others is one of the most powerful tools in your arsenal. People will give you their trust, their secrets, and even their loyalty if you can mirror their desires back to them. They don't want the truth, they want a version of it that makes them feel empowered. Offer them that illusion, and you will have them in the palm of your hand. This is not deception for its own sake. It is strategy. Influence does not belong to those who speak truth, but to those who speak to need. Most people don't want freedom, they want comfort. They will follow whoever provides a sense of certainty, even if it's a lie. They mistake direction for safety. Your job is not to argue with this nature, but to master it. If you can become the one who provides that direction, you become the authority they trust. And once you are trusted, you can guide, mold, and command without ever having to demand. The voice that brings relief is the voice they will follow. But while you guide others, you must remain untouched by their chaos. You must detach from their desperation, their volatility, their noise. The moment you begin to internalize their drama, you lose your position of power. You are no longer the manipulator. You become the manipulated. Calm, controlled detachment is your shield. It allows you to see clearly, while others are blinded by impulse and insecurity. When others panic, your composure becomes its own form of dominance. People reveal themselves not in their words, but in their reactions. Push just slightly, provoke just enough, and observe what emerges. Do they lash out? Do they retreat? Do they try to win back approval? In those moments, you discover who they really are. Pressure uncovers the truths they try to hide. Use those truths to your advantage, not with cruelty, but with precision. The best players do not destroy, they direct. They know when to offer mercy and when to tighten the grip. Those who cannot control themselves can never control others. Mastery over your emotions, your words, your reactions is the first step to mastery over any situation. Let others waste their energy proving themselves. Let them burn themselves out seeking attention. You will be the one listening, watching, calculating. While they are consumed by the need to be seen, you will remain invisible, but not inactive. You will strike when they are too exposed to defend themselves, too entangled in their own performance to realize the game has already been lost. The world is a theater of motives, a battlefield of hidden desires, and you are either the strategist or the sacrifice. Everyone around you wants something: attention, advantage, affection, access, and they will dress it in smiles, promises, and sentiment. But behind every gesture lies intent. Your task is not to resist this truth, but to exploit it. Do not give away your value for free. Let them reveal themselves, expose their needs, and then become the solution they cannot afford to lose. Control the exchange, dictate the terms, and always stay 3 steps ahead. In a world where everyone is playing, only the one who sees the whole board wins. Do not be the prey hoping for mercy. Be the predator who never forgets the rules of the hunt.